Hey guys, what's up? Woo! Welcome back to NightMayr. Guys, we have a really great show for you tonight. I am a mom off duty. I've had half a glass of Kendall James Chardonnay. It's going to be an awesome show tonight. Before I intro our guest, guys, I got a bunch of comedy shows coming up. Come see me. If you live on Long Island, I better see you at the Brokerage August 8th and 9th. Then I'm going to be in Plano, Texas, San Diego, Phoenix, Massillon, Ohio, several other things. I may be doing, I've got a bunch of fun other shows too that I can't announce yet, but we'll be able to soon. So for tickets, go to ChrissieMayr.com, please. And thank you, everyone. Today's guest, oh my gosh, I can't even say triple threat because her credits exceed. She's just got such a long, impressive resume. She was literally Miss Central Jersey 2024. She worked for the White House during the OG Trump administration. She's a PragerU ambassador, and she is a TV host at the Media Research Center. Put your hands together. I know, even if you're watching at home alone or in your bathroom or wherever you hide away from the wife and kids, put your hands together for Justine Brooke Murray. Yes. A vision in lime. You look like a gin and tonic.
I do.
You look like a margarita.
I do. You know what? Now I want a margarita. Like Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Well, you were saying that you have a very Kamala-esque taste in wine.
I do. Sadly, I do. We were talking about before the show. First, by the way, that was a very lovely intro. I'll try to live up to it. Thank you very much.
It's just your Twitter bio. I really put no effort into it.
And Central Jersey does exist. Okay. It is a real piece of land, to clear that up. But yeah, I convinced Chrissie to try Chardonnay again.
I had written it off years ago because I just thought like Chardonnay was for, cardigan wearing, like the waspy moms, and I don't know. I really judged Chardonnay, and I was like, I don't need an oak. I don't need oak barrels, oak flavors. So I've written it off for years, and then Justine was like, I would like is it Kendall James?
Kendall Jackson, but close.
Kendall what?
Kendall Jackson.
Kendall Jackson. Kendall Jackson sounds like a black judge. We're drinking Kendall Jackson tonight.
Cheers.
I am mom off duty, and the only other available intact wine glass was the Queen glass. So that's what Justine's drinking out of.
I like the one.
This is great because I normally go for like a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc if I'm going to do a white. But I've been off my wine game for a while because the whole baby thing and then the whole breastfeeding thing. So I really haven't been able to drink like I know that I can. So
I'm turning you back into a Kamala, a wine mom, wine aunt.
My return to drinking, everyone.
This is how I practice sounding like Kamala Harris or your typical bloviating leftist or Democrat politician. I did a video on this actually for MRC. I took like a wine glass, a bottle of wine, and I kind of messed up my hair a little bit. You have to get up really close, like closer than Joe Biden sniffing kids. And
like this? Am I doing it right?
Yeah. And then you kind of have to sound like a dying mammy with a whole lot of like unmined wisdom to share.
Wine loves me these wines.
The yellow school, those yellow school buses. I like those yellow school buses.
These kids grow up so fast.
Oh, never let anyone take your joy from you.
Walter, where's my live, love, laugh pillow? I need it for my bag.
You gotta stay woke. Stay woke.
Oh my God, Fieldy we were joking before we went live that the place you work for sounds like a terrorist organization. You're saying like, what is it? It's like PRMC. PMRC. And I was like, no, I think you're thinking of the Insane Clown Posse. I think you're thinking of MS-13. I think you're thinking of many other things that are not this very legitimate place that Justine works for. That is not a terrorist organization.
PRC is Irish, and a lot of us are Irish, myself included.
Or right, what about like Irish Repertory Theater?
Right. We're a little bit different. We like to conduct jihad on the legacy media, but in a peaceful, verbal way. Disclaimer. So media.
Okay.
So no legacy media outlets start saying you're promoting violence. We're conducting a propaganda jihad on the media.
Legacy media jihad is what we should call this episode.
Yes, a new show.
Yes, and then I don't know. The intern was talking about iCarly before we started, and I was like, there will be no Gen Z references.
Well, we have
here.
learned, Chrissie. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
PMRC is not a terrorist.
Okay.
Oh, it's not okay. Whew, what a relief.
Parents Music Research Center.
Oh,
Close.
Yeah, close.
that's not at all
Close.
a terrorist
Are they?
organization.
Sounds more like a USAID mission.
It's money laundering.
Transgender operas.
Yeah, they're gonna be transing Zimbabwean zebras. Like we need to do. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I know you've been on before, Justine, and you probably have given your origin story already, but you were talking about your mom before we went live. And I just love it because she sounds kind of like a stage mom in a sense. Like she'll watch your news hits and she'll be like, really? You wore that?
Yeah.
And does she do that every single time? I love how supportive she is.
Yeah. Well, she calls me she talks to me every day. So I think it's only natural. I used to be a theater kid.
Wow. Wait, when did you start? Like high school?
I started when I was 7.
Whoa. That kind of makes sense because you're really well put together. Like you're very polished and like an Macaulay Culkin, wise beyond your years kind of. Well, he might have been abused or something. He's a little jacked up now. But I mean that in a good way. Yeah, not really the drug part. Not really the friends with Michael Jackson kind of way.
Yeah. And thankfully, I've never been to Neverland Ranch.
Never say never. Did they take it down? They might have dismantled it.
What?
Neverland
The Neverland Ranch.
Oh, Neverland Ranch? No, that's still there.
Okay. See? There's hope.
I don't know about it, though. I'd never looked into it.
Yeah, it's probably, it's not on my destination list.
Sounds lovely.
No, but you started at 7. What kind of plays were you in?
My first play, I played Gretel in The Sound of Music. So she was the 5-year-old. She was the youngest in the bunch. My only role was basically falling asleep on stage, and it was the best. It was because it was the part where all the Von Trapp family, they go upstairs and they're singing "So long, farewell, Ad Wiedersehen, goodbye."
Oh, you can sing.
I can.
Oh my God, she's been able to sing this whole time.
Yeah. Wow. She said she's a theater kid.
I know, but like, I don't always put that together with singing.
That's like half of it.
Well, so then what's your favorite song from a musical, then?
Ooh, oh, that's tough because I will say I love West Side Story. Maria, I'm not in key right now. I didn't warm up, but
La 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 la. I'm warming up right now.
I played Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress. Once Upon a Mattress is basically a rendition of Princess and the Pea, and I got to play the princess.
I thought Once Upon a Mattress was Bonnie Blue's latest video.
On 1,000 matches?
Once Upon a Thousand Men.
in one day. Yeah.
The Princess and the Penis.
People are saying she's trans, by the way.
Yeah, I brought that up, and people were like, no, all the men, they would have complained. I'm like, or they're too embarrassed to speak out.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
1,000 though?
She tricked them all.
Yeah. Come hither.
But she doesn't actually have to. That's why she's brilliant, because she doesn't actually have to, like, you know, I'm not seeing a waiver with 1,000 names on it. How do we actually know that?
Well, they didn't even do STD tests for a bunch of the guys.
Wow.
So they're not going to do a waiver.
Yeah. She's like the human Ellis Island.
Oh God. Yeah. Unfettered immigration. Open borders for her.
See, that's what open borders leads to. 1,000
There we
men
go.
in one day.
Yeah. I'm exhausted just talking about it. Okay, wait. We were talking about your wholesome theater background.
Oh yes. I went to performing arts camp, and of course, everyone was woke, and everyone kind of they were exploring. Everyone was like a different gender. This was before.
Really?
Everyone thought they were a different gender. They thought they were gay, and of course, we were dealing with confused 14-year-old.
The 2010s? Or this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I surprisingly, before they found out quickly that I was on the right, I was like a little nerd. I was like 10, 11 years old. It was right after the John McCain Obama election. And I just remember at one time, people liked me until once upon a time.
No, they didn't.
Once upon a time, I had friends. And then I started getting political at camp. I was like a 10-year-old.
Wow.
I knew nothing. But I just remember this guy like pulls me aside, camp counselor, and he was a Southern. I'm so bad at Southern accents, but he was very kumbaya. He was from the South, and he goes, "Now here are two things we don't talk about, Justine: religion and politics." So of course, those are the two things I've made a career.
And my sexuality.
And
it remains a mystery.
But then turned out they only talked about that. But that led into competing in pageants, and I was just the lone conservative of it all.
Wow.
So it's tough because, sadly, and I see a lot of people on the right, and I understand where they're coming from. They always make fun of these like Taylor Lorenz type theater kids.
Well, she's very easy to make fun of.
She really is. And the Ministry of Truth, the czar of the Nina Jankowicz.
Oh, is she the fat one?
She's the one who did the Mary Poppins song.
I don't know if I know her.
She was the one who Biden entrusted to run the disinformation.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
and her appeal, her ad was that she went to TikTok and she sang this really cringy rendition of Mary Poppins. And I love Mary Poppins.
Aww.
She just ruined it. And she started saying disinformation. It was to the tune of supercalifragilistic.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I know.
And of course, la 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 la. But I can't remember any of the words. But thanks to her, theater kids got a bad rap. But that's really what most people, I feel like, in political media are. We're just frustrated theater kids who couldn't get a role. So
Wow, that's very astute. Because I feel like the latest thing that Twitter's kind of been very divided about is this whole like Iran Israel thing, and I really don't know anything, and I don't know why. I don't know, and I feel like I don't even know where to start. And you see people, like I follow folks, and they'll be very much on the side of Israel. Then there'll be some folks very much on the side of Iran, and then there'll be some folks that are like, well, I'm for no war at all. But I mean, ideally, I would like love no war too. But I just feel like that's not a real, like, when other than Trump's first term have we had just no war?
right, of course. And most of the time people are jumping on a grift. This is the same thing, the same shtick that the hippy dippy so-called liberals, but now they're just all far leftists have.
Because the Overton window shifted so much that they became sort of like part of this new right conglomerate.
Right. And you have a lot of people who really, they think that they're advocating against war. And as you said, nobody wants war. But then you have people who are very, very defensive of Iran, a regime that chants death to America. And that,
who fling gays off roofs.
Yeah.
And, if you show your hair, you're going to get stoned to death or something like that.
Right. So it's a little sus. It's really hard to kind of tell the difference now between some of those people who claim they're on the right, who claim they're America first, but they're very, very sympathetic to a regime that burns American flags, that their entire existence is basically to destroy Western civilization, to destroy America. And you have their jihadi sympathizers, these college camp students in cosplay cheering for basically another 9/11 in the streets, on college campuses. And you would think that the right would spend more time criticizing people who are actively burning our flag in the streets of New York. But instead, it's all blame the Jews. The Jews did this, the Jews did that. And it just goes back to everyone needs a common enemy. And with the left for 10 years, the left disagreed with everything they didn't like. They called a Nazi. There's a song on YouTube. You might have seen it. It's really funny. It's a song that goes, everything I don't like is literally Hitler. and they play this song in like a Hitler accent. It sounds like it's Hitler singing it.
Did you see this? Oh my God. We were a couple of years ago when we were still on Compound Media. We played this song, I think, like on every single show. It's probably, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like, it's called 10 Things I Hate About You. It's really ridiculous, but it's funny.
I have the song.
Yeah. We should play it.
Okay. 'Cause I just think, oh my God. Okay, here we go. Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler.
Right.
Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler, literally Hitler, literally Hitler. Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler. Let's have a look and see. You got Donald Trump, Cutie Pie, and Pepe the Frog. Hand signs, free speech, follow Godwin's law. Pro-life conservatives, grammar police. White men, YouTubers, people who eat meat. Yeah, everyone I don't like is literally Hitler. Everyone except for me.
Do.
Everyone I hate is a literal Nazi, literal Nazi, literal.
I'm gonna make this my ringtone.
Catchy.
Everyone I hate is a literal Nazi. Let's have a look and see. Jordan Peterson, Nazi. Gamergate, Nazi. Feminist, Nazi. Shakespeare plays, Nazi. Barack Obama, Nazi. George W. Bush, Nazi. Bill Clinton, Nazi. Ronald Reagan, Nazi.
I hope Elon's in this. With his salute.
The 2016.
Oh gosh, okay, it's old.
I don't like is literally Hitler, literally Hitler, literally Hitler.
This is cute.
Everything I don't
It's really cute.
Yeah.
I am getting theater vibes. I almost want to like getting a little quirky.
Yeah.
Hitler, comedian,
Hitler.
Comedians.
Hitler, socialism, Hitler, criticism, Hitler, men's rights activism, Hitler, sexual dimorphism, Hitler, facts,
Max.
duck, Hitler, man spreading, Hitler, babies,
Oh.
Hitler, science, Hitler, gun control, Hitler,
I mean,
statistics, Hitler,
that one I kind of get.
Milk.
everyone I don't like is literally
Gun control.
Hitler, everyone except for me,
Do.
everyone except for me.
There's a lot of Hitler footage.
Just hope
Wow.
they don't watch this podcast without the audio on.
I feel like now it's everything I don't like is literally Jewish. Jew.
When did this start? I mean, people have always been divided over this, but let's see. It came out recently. I think on Tucker's show, Ted Cruz was on. Maybe that's what kind of started this whole thing, or maybe it's this conversation about like the woke right, which what James Lindsay thinks, or more than just James Lindsay, but folks thinks it's what basically like Candace Owens. Who else is considered part of the woke right? What if I'm on the woke right and I don't know it?
Yeah. Ian Carroll.
Okay.
Ugh. Well, that's the other thing. You could tweet. They remind me a lot of the 2020 cancel culture mob, because if you dare to criticize them or if you dare to call them out, they get very triggered and very offended, and they'll send their mob to you. So you're gonna have to turn your mentions off or just like stay, because you get immediately inundated with this mob. It's honestly just as bad as the messages I received from BLM in 2020.
Oof.
Your inbox is full, literally, kill yourself, Jew this, Jew that. And it's kind of, I like to call it the trifecta, the Islamo-Marxist woke right trifecta. Marxist is essentially the left. At this point, they all seemed, it's not even like there's a faction of, liberals who are, no, they're all left. At least with the right, there's people on the right who a lot like are normal. And, I've always considered myself on the right. Labels now are just, I think labels just don't do it anymore. I don't think they've ever done it, frankly. I think we're dealing with this horseshoe theory. But every day I'll post something and I get inundated with what seems to be a lot of bots, but it's just this brain rot. It's always like some guy like Ian Carroll or some essentially online idiot who, they tweet from their gamer chair and they're really,
Malaysia.
Yeah. I do. Ian Miles. Ian's my friend. I have to say, he's very.
I have nothing against him. I think he's a mysterious Twitter creature.
He stood up for me when what's his name? This weird hairy dude. I can't even remember his name.
Sisson?
Not him. Not him. He was like this hairy bum, and he followed me around at Columbia University a year ago outside the pro-jihad rallies. What was his name? I can't even remember. But
somebody in the chat knows.
He was big and hairy, and he used to work for the Young Turk, Michael Tracy.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So and this is where Ian Miles he called me up and we just made fun of him together. I didn't even know who this
You
guy
talked to him on the phone?
We talked on the phone.
What? Wow. How did you get Ian Miles Chong's phone number?
He just reached out because he saw that this guy, a lot of people, and this guy unites both the right and the left. I think even if you're an anti-Semite, I don't even think you like this guy. He was like the stereotype of the eternally online, the loser in the basement. Mm-hmm. And I was outside just filming my thoughts on what was going on that campus, and suddenly behind me, like I sense, like I hear in my head,
you hear breathing on your neck.
I'm breathing, da 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 da. And then I turn around, it's just this oaf, and he's following me around for like 30 minutes.
Whoa.
So I remember I made this video and I put in the background lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, lions and tigers and bears. And like nobody, no matter what side you're on, nobody wants to be followed around.
No, that's creepy, especially if you're a chick.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah,
don't stalk people, right? Internet folks.
Yeah, really, and it also goes back to, and this is what we're seeing, how the right and the left are sadly, the woke right, the far right, and the left are uniting on.
Didn't the far right used to be the kind of like dissident, right? Like, people used to refer to like Lauren Southern, Gavin McInnes as far. So now that's different. Is now Candace Owens and Ian Carroll are the far right?
It seems to be, but I don't consider them conservatives. I don't consider them, pro-Trump or anything. They seem to align more with the far left. Candace Owens just wrote a post railing against Jews and Zionist Jews on campus. It seems to be her one shtick now. Like that's all she talks about. It's a mental illness. It's Jew derangement syndrome. And I'm seeing parallels where, in 2020, everything was white derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
And I really believe that the core issue behind it is people have a problem with success, and people have a problem with cultures that foster success. Jews tend to be a very successful group of people. Same with a lot of white people. So you had this DEI tribe back in 2020, and everyone got sick of it, but they realized it was okay to openly target white people. It was okay to rewrite the definition of racism, and they actually did that after the whole George Floyd debacle. And they claimed, well, racism isn't just the hatred of one group, or just branding someone because of the color of their skin or which group they belong. It has to do with, well, if you're privileged, if you own too much, if you're have too much quote unquote power, and white people have quote unquote power, well, then you can't be racist against them. And it's the same ideology directed against Jews. And we've seen it with Asians too. Nobody wanted to talk about anti-Asian hate when people of the wrong race.
It was all black people doing it.
Yeah.
Like, oops, let's let's calm that down.
Yeah. So inherently, all the anti-Semitism we see on the right and the left, I just think it's racial and ethnic Marxism. And the people who claim to be on the right, who claim to be against Marxism, well, they're acting like the biggest Marxists. And I've never seen so many people who claim to be America first aligned with the people who are burning our flags on campuses.
I wonder if, how not every single person in DC is corrupt. It's like what you refer to as the swamp or the elites or the deep state. Do you think almost some folks feel that way towards some Jewish people? Like, do they think maybe it's just the most corrupt people at the top? I almost could understand that, but it seems like when you talk in sweeping generalizations, when people say like all Jews, this or that, it's hard to get behind that.
Yeah. It's a common enemy. A lot of times you'll hear about is, there's too many Jews in
Media.
government, in media and government.
News.
And therefore, it must be their fault. And that's how the left describe, well, there's too many white men. There's too many white men in power, too many white men in the media.
There's too many black guys in the NBA.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
too many Indian guys doing customer service.
And by the way, isn't that racist? I mean, I just started taking up basketball. As a 5'1" woman of lesser color or of lighter complexion.
You could be South African.
That's true. Although I might get assaulted for being that currently. But I actually, my apartment had this, they had this basketball court. And because we all have to pay for it as part of the lease, I just started taking up basketball.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah. I feel like I never played basketball before, but I think it's pretty unfair.
I can just imagine you being like, eh.
Yeah, it's funny because yeah. Well, we see how she's treated. We see how the pro DEI people on her team treat her. Well, she's successful just because she's white. Well, then what's the difference? Like everyone who claims to be on the right, who just blames Jews for their problems or Jews in media. Well, it's because, they have Jewish privilege. It's just because you have our Jewish culture fosters success, and we value life.
Like Asians. Like, you can't go to bed until you finish all your violin.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it's maybe thanks to those pestering mothers, my pestering mother always nudging me to go to law school. It's everyone people need a mirror. That's what we need nowadays. Everybody look in a mirror and look at your own problems and how you can maybe do better in your own personal life. And this is why I love Jordan Peterson, because this is always his motto. He, clean your own room first.
Make your bed.
Right.
Clean your goddamn room. I mean, I can't even do it. After Tyler Fisher's impression, it's like, why even bother? You got to clean your goddamn room.
Ooh. Socks so crispy.
You gotta take your sticky tube socks and throw them in the wash, for God's sakes. Quit masturbating.
Brown, but they used to be white.
Don't go to bed till you finished your violins. It's not all the Jews, it's some Jews. Yeah. But at least if someone comes to me with like, okay, it's this specific person or a couple of people and here's receipts, like, fine. But yeah, it's hard to get on board with, this whole group of people.
Yeah. The other thing is that a lot of secular Jews they're on the left, and a lot of, especially right now after October 7th, a lot of Jewish people have kind of like liberal Jews who, they believe this kumbaya. Tikkun olam was this phrase you hear tossed around, and it was never the core of Judaism, but you've had these like liberal secularists who claim that's their religion. Tikkun olam means repairing the world, and repairing the world means pushing all these cool lefty causes. But then you also see a lot of people who claim to be Christian, like that the pastor, Episcopal Church lady.
Oh, was it a guy?
It was a woman who she was the one who blasted Trump during the inauguration.
Oh, yeah. I remember her. Oh, she sucked. She was insufferable.
Lesbian.
The lesbian priest.
I actually did a video just on her one time. I bought these cheap fake glasses from Party City. I put my hair back. I got a giant book and I pretended it was the Bible, and I just stuck a picture of the Communist Manifesto. Like, why believe in God when you can believe in this religion? I showed it around. But and something that should unite Jews and Christians right now is that we both should hate how our religion has been taken over by leftist secularists, and
True.
mainly in America and in the West. A lot of Jews, a lot of Christians elsewhere, you don't see this. Sadly, some cases of the woke Western Europe. But the left can't decide whether to destroy our religion altogether or to just rewrite it to approve of their what's frankly their sins, to approve of their wrongdoings and to approve of their narcissism. And
True.
the worst culprits are these like middle-aged histrionic women, like
These crusty boomers, these like Woodstockian era, like free love bitches. They all live in upstate New York.
What both of you can become one day.
Yeah, with our Chardonnay.
Yes, I'm only one more glass away.
I'll introduce you to Ron Bauer. Ron Bauer is even more of an old lady.
Ron Bauer. Oh, I thought, like, is this another news person that you know? Sounds like an anchor. I'm Ron Bauer signing off. Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah, Ron Bauer is not the name of another hairy man who followed me around. It's the
People
name.
that have stalked me.
Yeah, but
Wow.
But Ron is out there watching right now.
You know what it is? This all started from the Tucker Carlson Ted Cruz interview. I think that's what shook up a lot of this sass.
yeah.
I want to hear this clip. Here we go. Watch this heated exchange between Tucker and Ted over claims that Carlson is obsessed with the Jews. You know, who knows? Maybe he's always felt this way. He just couldn't say how he really felt while he was on Fox.
Yeah. I was there. He spoke at the Heritage Foundation at a gala the day. I don't know if he was fired that day or the day before, but it was kind of interesting. I felt like I was there for a historic moment because nobody knew all the drama that would unfold. Yeah.
How exciting. Hit it.
It's a very weird thing.
Pinky ring, you lost me, Ted.
We're talking about foreign countries.
Hardly an obsession.
You're not talking about Chinese. You're not talking about Japanese. You're not talking about the Brits. You're not talking about the
You're
French.
not talking about Siamese.
What about the Jews?
Oh,
Like
I'm an anti-Semite now.
Senator, you're asking the questions, Tucker. You're asking, why are the Jews controlling our foreign policy?
Senator,
That's what you just
I am
asked.
hardly saying that, and I have.
That is exactly what you just said.
Well, actually, I can speak for myself
Good.
and tell you what I am saying.
Ooh.
On behalf not simply of myself, but on of my many Jewish friends who would have the same questions, which is to what extent, and it's interesting you're trying to derail my questions by calling me an anti-Semite, which you are.
I did not.
Of course you are. And rather than be honorable enough to say it right to my face, you are in a sleazy feline way implying it, which asking questions about the Jews. I'm not asking questions about the Jews. There's nothing to do with Jews or Judaism. It has to do with the foreign government.
Isn't Israel controlling our foreign policy? That's not about the Jews.
You said, I'm asking you.
And by the way, you're the one that just called me, I think, a sleazy feline. So let's be clear.
Easy to
Amazing
imply
insult.
that I'm an anti-Semite, which you just did.
No, I just
When
said, why
I'm
is that the only
asking
question
you-
you're asking? You answer it. Give me
hold on.
another reason.
You-
If you're not an
you-
anti-Semite, give me another reason
I
why
will.
the obsession is Israel.
I am in no sense obsessed with Israel. We are on the brink of war with Iran. And so these are valid questions.
But you're not
just
asking about Iran or
if
the
I can
Ayatollah.
finish, you asked me why I'm obsessed with Israel.
Yep.
3 minutes after telling me that when you first ran for Congress, you elucidated one of your main goals, which
Yes.
is to defend Israel.
Yes.
And I'm the one who's obsessed with Israel. I don't see a lawmaker's job as defending the interests of a foreign government, period. Any government, including the ones that my ancestors come from. So that's my position. That does not make me an anti-Semite. And shame on you for suggesting otherwise. And I mean that. And that's low, and you know it's low. So why don't you just answer my questions?
I
feel like my two dads are fighting.
You certainly have the IQ to do it.
So, shame on you is cute, by the way, Tucker.
It is. It's not cute. I'm offended.
I'm
obsessed with the Jews. You just told me
you
that
just called me a sleazy feline.
It is sleazy to imply that I'm an anti-Semite for asking questions about how my government is
You want
run.
to count how many questions you asked about? What about the Jews? What about Israel? What about AIPAC?
I never asked about the Jews. I have. This has nothing to do with the Jews, whatever that means. This has to do with a foreign government. And once again, shame on you for conflating the two.
You have until Sunday.
I liked Fat Alex Jones better.
As is on his Twitter.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing, Tucker, and same is a pattern I've noticed with a lot of other influencers who have suddenly changed their tune, and have become seemingly very, sympathetic, or very just defensive whenever Iran or the Iranian regime comes up. We shouldn't bomb Iran. We shouldn't go after Iran, and we should
think of the rugs.
Yeah, think. Well, the subways in Russia are so clean. And this is what Tucker Carlson has done for the past, basically ever since October 7th, but even before, it seems just like Candace Owens. Ted Cruz makes a good point. He has obsessed over Israel. Like it's this Israel derangement syndrome, a country has been helping us forever. And versus why don't you ever criticize the Iranian regime? Why don't you ever criticize the fact that Iran and their proxies, Hamas and Qatar, they're holding, they killed and held American hostages? I've never heard a peep out of Tucker coming from about the regimes that are set every day to destroy America. If he's really America first, why is he so silent on that and yet so loud on Israel? But it's also funny, as I mentioned, that he seemed to have flopped his stance just a couple of years ago. He was against Iran having nukes, and he was outspoken against Iran, and suddenly now that it's cool to hop on the script. And is it because he's trying to stay relevant after he's not at a network anymore? That's a question to ask. But when he gets so defensive and angry and interrupts Senator Cruz for asking, well, why are you so obsessed? I also noticed a point, and this is what the left does a lot, the same people who call everything racist. They love to use Zionist or Israel. No, they don't really do it anymore because they don't feel like they have to do it anymore. Now they can say Jews or white Jews or Jewish privilege.
There are brown Jews? How many colored Jews are there? There's apple Jews. Orange
apple Jews.
Cranberry Jews.
Italian Jews, but they're black.
There's the Kamala Jews.
Ooh. Green juice, if they're very healthy.
Those cleansing Jews.
Yes, a lot of cleansing Jews. We don't want to go there.
They always, like, every time, just like get rid of the word Jew and insert the word Zionist. That has kind of been the left's shtick, and I'm seeing it with Tucker. When you say the Jews are puppeteers and they're controlling, President Trump or the U.S. government, and but you replace it with Israel. You replace it with the word Zionist, or we're not talking about the Jews. We're just talking about the bad Jews as a whole. Then it is a little bit sus. So, frankly, I think anyone should just. And this is why I believe in free speech, why I don't believe in censoring anybody, even from networks, is because I think people should expose themselves. People should, let Tucker speak. Let the opposite side speak. Let the people who are who I believe are anti-Semites speak, and let them kind of talk themselves into a circle.
Do you wonder if there's increased sensitivity because we just poured billions into Ukraine and spent years dealing with that war situation with Russia, that people wouldn't, not be so anxious to jump into another war that they don't think like the U.S. has to be involved in?
Yeah, probably. And it's a very valid point. And there are a lot of good people who simply, they they hear what the legacy media is preaching, or what so-called new media outlets claim, that they claim they're not as much as a propagandist as the legacy media, but at the end of the day, sometimes they are. And a lot of people, we've just come off the heels of Bidenflation and a terrible economy, thanks to everything that President Biden did to entangle us in foreign issues. So it's understandable. But then you have people who actually have ill intent, and they take a step further, and they bank it's very malicious, because they kind of bank off the concerns of everyday Americans and say, well, you can blame the Jews for that. We shouldn't have any relations with Israel at all. Or it's actually Israel, which is the bad guy. It's not the people who are chanting death to America. So they seem to have flipped it on its head.
Yeah, I would say, without knowing much about the situation, I would say anybody who's saying death to America, I don't think I would want them to have a nuke. I don't think I would like the countries that love America, they can have nukes, but anyone who doesn't like us, I think, shouldn't have one.
You sure you don't regret that at all?
Is that a crazy stance?
Canada, really?
Canada.
All right.
What does Canada have?
I really want them to
Just
have
their manners. Canada has nukes?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
But they're Canada. They're not going to use them. Who's Canada going to nuke?
Us?
No, we're right here. They're going to end up nuking themselves.
They'd be jealous of us all along.
Imagine Canada tries to nuke like Montana, and they just end up like nuking themselves.
Hey, we don't like Montana.
Hey, let's take out Washington State. Hey, I liked Michael Malice's idea of give every African American a Canadian. That's how we solve reparations. Yeah, this hilarious clip going around. He said there's 40 million black people and 41 million Canadians, or vice versa. And he said, we'll just give every black person a Canadian, like we'll enslave the Canadians. And then that's a great idea.
Justin Trudeau.
And they're so polite that they would go along with it.
Oh yeah, they'd be like, hey, I like your house. Hey, let me change your battery in your smoke detector.
What's this cottonola boot? The battery in your smoke detector. Yeah, I hear it's been going off all day. Oh my God, this was supposed to be a serious episode. Yes. Okay, so we have the Tucker and Ted Cruz interview, and then any chance to hear Tucker's nervous laugh, I think is good for me. You're saying, oh boy, the Jews. I didn't know the Jews. I just met the Jews. I'm just asking questions. They all seem to be in charge. Is this a Tucker Carlson laughing compilation?
That should be an
We
alarm.
want to watch this.
We don't have to watch the whole 757 of it, but
Here it's a laugh.
I hear it's
Let's give it a
it's
minute.
gas. All right. 1 minute. 1 minute. It better be good. Oh wow, he looks so young.
The guy behind him looks like Tucker almost.
Yeah.
Two Tuckers.
Looks like one of Tucker's siblings in the back there. That's a great laugh.
We've got a very excitable young man behind us, not a Bill Clinton fan. He's
Oh,
a little
Bill Clinton's
bit
a
upset,
rapist.
But that's okay. Everything is fine on Fox and Friends because we are surrounded by dogs. And if there's anything that calms the human heart, it's a canine.
Carlson falsehoods. And I can.
He's got a
sit
great
here
laugh.
And I can read them to you one at a time.
Appreciate it.
And
All
we
right.
can talk about what you have to say.
That's pretty good. Let me.
Oh, I missed him on
Karen
Fox.
wrote this. Barbara Boxer said,
He was very entertaining. Yeah.
More.
You want more?
A little more.
Okay.
politics is a noble profession.
I
that
want to
may
hear
be
a certain kind of laugh.
Paul McCurley. that's one way to put it.
It makes you laugh.
No, I know you're not. Who spent more on social media, Hillary or Trump?
I'm sure.
Ooh.
And with
Jessica
Hillary Clinton
Tarlow.
stronger together, no one really knows what that meant. And you saw even in the Podesta
It would
leaks
be a
that people were
fantastic
saying
motto
that.
for a glue company, wouldn't it? Elmer's glue.
Could the
stronger
glue be
together.
president?
No, it's a bizarre.
This woman has no sense of humor.
No, there was a great piece.
Which I loved.
This is a genuine laugh.
Deal for you. I know you like to carry water for the liar in chief. I know you like to justify and rationalize the sexual.
That's his laugh. We're like, oh,
I
you're
don't think this is a joke.
stupid.
This is for humanity, and he is dangerous.
But when High energy tweeted
That's
this
more of like
headline
That's
from
a
the
good
Huffington
one.
Post, Donald Trump and his cabinet will trade on inside information as president. And yet the first sentence of the piece says this, and we're quoting, actually, I don't know that Donald Trump will take advantage of the inside information he will have access to as president, but no one knows that he won't. Which is the new standard, I guess. Can you disprove it? Okay, it must be true. The two things I can't do, but thank you.
I
Joseph
like
Gallagher,
his laugh. Yeah, they're the more I listen, the more genuine they sound.
It wasn't as egregious as you made it seem out to be.
Yeah.
I think nowadays
His Ted Cruz laughs. It's like, ha, ha,
She's up the ante. Like the laugh has become a little bit more psychotic sounding versus yeah. My favorite though, there is was it the World, I don't know if it was the World Economic Forum a couple of years ago. There was this woman, we called her the Bird Lady because she was like the entertainment of this elitist.
That's in the
That's in the Simcast intro. She was like, how about my baby back ribs?
It wasn't. She was like howling like a bird. And Tucker did this really hysterical thing. He goes, "Thanks for watching." Whoa. And I just remember like that was the most genuine, no matter like whether or not I agree with him now, that was the most genuine laugh and the most genuine reaction I think I've seen on network TV. And I miss when he was like that. I miss that Tucker.
He was so good on Fox. I don't know. Jesse Waters he's got great hair and boyish good looks, but he's no Tucker, who also had great hair and boyish good looks.
I have to admit, I like Jesse.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Jesse's okay, but I don't know. I wonder
maybe it might be the hair.
I wonder if Tucker's always felt this way, or if he's just. I mean, what would he get out of trying this on to appeal to a broader audience if that's what he thinks he's doing?
It seems to be the general shtick of even if you're just a celebrity or an actor, anyone who seems to be spiraling or, losing relevance. I've seen this a lot. Women, female actors who are getting older and they're losing their relevance. They seem to adopt. That's why I think there's so many leftist Hollywood types, particularly older women or middle-aged women, because they've realized that they're kind of
washed up
and they gotta immediately virtue signal and this seems to be the new way of virtue signaling. But I just saw CARE, the Council for American Islamic Relations, share a Tucker Carlson post, and that's like all you need to know. When you're siding with basically the Muslim Brotherhood or with Ilhan Omar's organization, which alleged terrorists,
that's a whole different kind of brotherhood.
Yeah, it leaves room, as Tucker said. Well, I'm just asking questions. Okay, well then maybe can we ask questions too? I think it's pretty fair, and you shouldn't get so offended when we ask questions. Why are you siding with the? It seems like you're siding with the Muslim Brotherhood, and can you elaborate on that without getting so angry?
Yeah, both people should be able to ask questions. That seems like that makes sense to me. And then, okay, did we have a clip of Candace up or?
Oh, Candace? No.
No. Okay.
But we do have breaking news.
Breaking news. Trump is going to talk. I guess we low key secretly took out Iran's nuclear sites in the middle of the night last night. Surprise.
There were hits on that. I'm not sure if that's what he's supposed to be called.
Okay, he's going to do a TikTok about it. Let's listen. How many ties do you think he has?
Yeah.
Hundreds. Those sound like made up places.
Tara.
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 Woo-hoo-hoo!
A 1,000 people and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular.
Oh my God,
general,
the chicken guy?
and all of the brilliant
Raisin Kane?
That's what I thought.
in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all.
Why are you circling Marco Rubio?
Perhaps the most lethal. But if
face.
peace does not
Because
come
his face.
quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes.
Who's blinking the
There's
most?
no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight.
I'm measuring the
Not even
BPMs.
close. There's never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense,
He just blinked to Jay.
will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God.
JD Vance
I
looks like
wanna
a
just
sad
say
cat.
We love you, God, and we
Looks
love
like
our
his
great
guy liner
military
on
and
or
protect
something.
them.
Yeah.
His eye,
God bless
his
the
eye
Middle
color
East.
though
God
is
bless
just
Israel,
so
and God
like
bless
the blue.
America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, like I don't know, kind of an ass-kicking speech to me.
Yeah.
The message is like, don't f with us at all.
It's a stark difference from
Like, we've already put you out.
yeah.
Like it's already done.
You're done. He should have just walked up and gone, you're done. Done.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Literally.
I ran. Yeah, you did run. You ran far away. You ran to build another facility.
You're screwed.
Wow, that's so scary. It's like, oh, what already happened? Is everyone okay? I don't think so. I mean, all of our people. Were they able to somehow bomb without killing anyone?
Iran fell down and went boom.
Was it late at night where everyone was asleep and not at work or something?
Slept on their roofs.
Yeah, the magic carpet.
Maybe they were away from it. Were there night guard people working there? I feel bad for the night shift people at these nuclear facilities.
Oh,
Dang.
It's kind of just funny to see the stark difference from literally just a couple months ago. President Biden, someone asked him, what would you say to Iran, which said, we're going to nuke America? And he goes, don't.
Please.
Please, no.
How do you nuke a nuke, though, without it going off? I know none of us are.
Well, it's their uranium enriched.
The enriched uranium?
Yeah.
So you unrich them.
Yeah.
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 Should have had a bomb expert on tonight. It's scary. It sucks. I don't know. One would think that they would retaliate, no? Unless they're all gone.
Well, that's the thing at this point, and this is what I always see. Iran has done this for the past, what seems like the past year, but even then some. Whenever Israel strikes or America goes after them, they always respond with like this big scary video, and they post it to Twitter, and it's like showing like
like with a green screen or something.
Yeah, we have a bigger schlong than yours. We promise you, and like they show their like giant like jets or something, but then they do nothing. Like they do absolutely nothing. And this is what happened after the killing of Soleimani. The leftist media said, oh, well, this is not going to, everything's going to go haywire now. This is what we also saw after the Abraham Accords. How dare President Trump, try to foster actual peace in the Middle East, or actually stand up to Islamic Jihad in the Middle East, because God forbid you make the terrorists angry. You're going to make them angry by going after them. They're just going to get angrier. And that's like a very backwards ideology. It's kind of like how the leftist media has described the LA riots. They blamed the LA riots on President Trump deporting.
Yeah, bringing in the Marines and the National Guard.
Yeah,
that escalated it somehow, and it wasn't like the people doing dumb shit.
Right. It was the media was angry at President Trump for
doing his job.
Right. Exactly. Well, you guys should have just let them run amok and snatch up more young women.
Burn the whole city down.
Right. Yeah. Because God forbid you hold them accountable. Well, law and order, that might just make them angrier and make them more violent. So that ideology, when it comes to the Middle East, I also think it's just very backwards, and it's kind of the same.
Yes. It's crazy. I want to know, you were an intern during Trump's first term. From what you've seen so far, from his second term, like how, I guess, I don't know, what are the biggest differences in like working with him the first term to what you're seeing now?
Certainly. I think that a lot of things have been done much more quickly in just like the first week of the
that was
second.
Insane.
Yeah. We had he immediately banned men in dresses from competing against women. He immediately started deporting MS-13 members. I think part of it's because, he's not afraid of, legacy media outlets. I don't think he's ever been, but this is his last term. And now he really can go full tilt and actually do what he needs to do. Whereas before, you probably also had people in the administration who were kind of, they were still more old school. Oh, let's, tiptoe around. And it was this kind of divide in the first administration between peacetime and wartime people on their wartime and peacetime conservatives or Republicans. And the peacetimers, they just kind of almost remind me of the hippy dippy liberals. Oh, let's not actually do anything. Let's just say smart sounding stuff. But we don't want to anger the left wing mob or the leftist media by actually, making our country safe again and free again. And now President Trump just seems to have gone, screw all that. We're just going to do everything now. And it's been great.
Yeah.
It is such a difference.
It's his last term until 2028 for sure, when he will run again. we have the hats to prove it. Wow. Yeah. It's he knows better. I feel like he's had a lot of time. I feel like he's had Biden's whole entire term to scheme and to prepare and get all those executive orders ready, right? Like, didn't he have, 70 something that he just fired off that first week? It was like really incredible. It was I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, bingo bango. That's how I would describe it. But it's something that we've never seen. I don't even think with any Republican president or any president in general. He just immediately went to work. And it's funny to see how much the left hates that. Of course, the media jumped to calling him a fascist. But the problem is that they've been saying that for 10 years and it's stale. Get a new insult. The Nazi cliche is it's staler than a year-old bagel. Find something new, because they can't they're so out of touch. It just reminds me of the squawking women on The View.
Oh, God. That show only exists for like a podcast like ours to just like watch clips of and react to, I think. I don't think anybody's actually sitting down and watching it. Or it's like on in airports or dentists and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what else would you want to see as you're getting your fillers and you're getting your cavities?
More Novocaine. Whoopi's haircuts.
Just knock me out already.
Who do you think that Trump has around him now in his second term is like really helping him that wasn't there the first time?
Yeah. I think JD Vance. It seems JD Vance is very strong as a vice president, and his major job, of course, I was an intern actually for Vice President Mike Pence, and it was a great time. And I really liked him in office. It was a great experience. Right now, I think that Vance is very aligned with what needs to be done as wartime conservatives and as people who are trying, has an administration that's really trying to help America recuperate from basically everything under the sun that Joe Biden did. He has a lot of people who actually want to do things. And it partially helps that you don't have these bureaucrats in office anymore. So a big problem was that even during the first administration and previously, you had these long-time career bureaucrats whom they would still remain in their agency positions no matter who the president was, and they seem to maybe just get by under the radar.
Like Nancy Pelosi? I don't know. What are we waiting until she's 150 years old? I mean, she is out. She's technically out of the House Speaker position, but she's still around.
They're still trying to like wheel her in sometimes.
Yeah, she's still floating around, haunting the halls.
Yeah.
What was the other lady who they literally did wheel in to do a vote?
Oh, didn't she die?
Yeah.
Oh,
What the hell was her
Feinstein.
name? Yeah.
Justine Feinstein.
That's my
Hey,
name.
don't besmirch her name. How could you take your pink LaCroix and leave?
It's disgusting anyway.
That is hate speech.
Wow. So JD Vance is a good kind of like, he's in repair mode for the country, basically.
Yeah. He really seems to be, and I don't want to give I'm probably going to plug my own friends here, but I have to give a shout out to Will Sharf. Will Sharf is basically the guy in President Trump's administration who hands the president every single executive order. So
Wow.
you'll always see him. And some of the photos are hysterical because he'll walk in and it's this giant, and it just goes to show, if you want to see how much work the president is doing, just look at Will Sharf and his stack of orders just like going up.
So is it his job to like get the leather bound file for each one, print it out? Oh no, there's a spelling error. I gotta print it out again.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. And he just stands there patiently waiting outside the Oval Office. Okay, dump here. Oh, but I just love how he announces every single order.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and it's very formal. Mr. President, this is the order to keep women with certain parts out of the women's
Yeah.
women with certain
This
parts.
is the anti-women with penis bill.
Yeah.
And you have to sign it with this big pink pen here. There was a tweet from Candace Owens that I saw. She was reacting to Trump's swift action against Iran. A full payload of bombs was dropped, followed by "Now is the time for peace." Utterly deranged. If we had raised the $100 million Adelson gave him on GoFundMe, maybe he would have kept his promises. Guess we'll never know. What is she talking about?
I think she's drunk. She needs to take a nap. Sounds like she had too much Kamala juice.
What are we? I don't know. Again, I don't know anything. But what are we supposed to do? Like, let them bomb us?
Sit on your hands. Just like I would ask her. Okay, so would that be your decision for every single? You know, again, we don't want the illegal aliens to set California on fire. So should we just like not
let them be?
Yeah, let them be, and just Well, we have this regime that, they say they have nukes. They say they're dedicated to wiping us off the map. They tried to assassinate President Trump more than once. They're not really like bombing us at the moment, even though they say they're trying to take us out. So let's just kind of like let them hang there like cancer.
What do you say to people who's like, well, Iran has been saying for decades now that they almost have nukes, that they have nukes, and they never do. So we shouldn't believe them, or we just bomb them for nothing. I mean, they obviously know, and I don't know. Yeah. Or did they just bomb 3 random cities and they said, "Oh, we took out all their uranium. Yeah. We're all done now. Sorry about all the rugs."
Well, it seems like, at least for now, that these seem to be very specific strikes. And President Trump, we were given the locations. We were shown there were very specific locations for these facilities, so they do exist. And it's a matter of, are we going to let this cancer just grow? And it's not like Iran has just not acted at all. We've seen October 7th, and Americans were involved in that. Americans were taken hostage. Iran tried to assassinate President Trump. They embed themselves in this country. They have an influence inside this country. So it's just, okay, should we just like let them just continue? I just don't think that's a good idea. You have to nip problems in the bud because, and I think the problem with the Biden administration, whether or not I think he intentionally let things just fester, illegal immigrants.
If you could just pick one problem, yes.
Yeah. One, geez. I think the 2 major problems were the border crisis and maybe 3. Now we're getting to 3. But soft on crime, the coddling of criminals.
Oh, yeah.
And treating people who come into this country on behalf of terrorist organizations. At least 100 people under the Biden administration who were on the terrorist watch list were let into the country, were released into the country, and many more at least were able to come up to the gate. And then you had, of course, we're seeing these so-called students. Oh, we're just innocent.
The students, yeah.
30
student activists
who claim they want to destroy Western civilization and you set fire to our streets. So, as much as Biden claimed that, oh, sure, I condemn some of this, he did absolutely nothing. And there was certainly a foreign influence, and there still is, in our major, academic institutions.
But what do you say to people who go, oh, well, that's just freedom of speech. They can't express their dissent towards what's going on in our country?
Holding janitors hostage at Columbia and smashing into windows.
That's not freedom of speech?
That's the funny thing. The left created cancel culture. That was their baby. They created censorship on college campuses. I was there. You interviewed me a couple of years ago when I was facing this mob on my campus. It was,
oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was chased down the street. My professors took to social media to put a target on my back.
Jeez.
I wasn't allowed to have this conservative club on campus because we believed in the U.S. Constitution, and the school said the Constitution was quote unquote exclusionary to international students. And now the same universities are crying free speech overnight. They're only free speech absolutists when it comes to leftist physical violence. So their violence is speech, and everyone else's speech is violence to them.
Exactly, because they'll say, "Oh, silence is violence," or that your words are violence. So then they have to return with actual violence. I don't know. It takes a lot of mental gymnastics to understand it.
Yeah, of course it does. And then you see another thing is that the people who come to this country and they're guests, they're foreign guests. They claim they want to destroy Western civilization. What's his name? I'm so bad at pronouncing.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was on The View and he was talking about when you come here, you're a guest, and that was the wrong answer for them, especially Joy Behar. I was like, ugh, everyone's like, let's cut to commercial. Even Sonny Hostin was putting a hand on his shoulder, shut the fuck up. This is not you have the wrong opinion on this. But I don't know if that's who you were thinking of.
I was thinking of Mahmoud Khalil, Mahmoud Abu killed a Jew. Khalil was just an innocent peace activist. But he ran one of these groups that were kind of part of the Columbia University mob. The mission of the group was, quote unquote, destroy Western civilization. So, like, why are you going to invite someone into your house if they say, we want to burn it down? Why would you invite someone to remain in your country if they blatantly say, yes, I'm doing everything I can to destroy it? It's so backwards.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't... like, would that fly in any other country? Like, would I have the balls to go try to live in another country and talk mad shit about that country while I'm living there, working there? I don't understand where the confidence comes from, but I guess it's like this sense like you can get away. The left has made it seem like these people can get away with anything because they were able to.
Yeah. Try that in China or North Korea.
Try it in North Korea. Were you guys pulling up a clip from when the first time I interviewed her?
Yeah.
Oh,
let's just really quickly because I want to compare.
Not for the sound or anything. I just, just so you can see yourselves.
I want to just compare hairstyles. That's all.
Oh yeah. I had the side
my hair
part.
was so dark. Oh my god. That's when I used to get my hair cut in the city.
Yeah.
It cost like $400, but she did a good job at layering it.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good now too.
Oh, that was my set. I had a stuffed llama in the background. Look how far I've come.
And now you talk about Iran.
Yes. Wow. Oh yeah, my flag. I gotta get the flag back.
That was before I got my hair layered and like part in the middle. And
oh wow, yeah, you had the side part.
Yeah.
We both did.
I was convinced like the side part.
No, that's your side part for when you're doing your wine alter ego.
Yeah. Yeah, now that's my Kamala impression. Hey guys. Hello.
Oh right, we were talking about your Miss New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh my god, though. You do have like a real pageant face.
Thank you.
It wasn't a comment. Okay.
Oh.
No, it is. Oh. My gosh. Have you are you going to do more pageants or is it kind of
I like to. It's tough because
Miss Monmouth, are you kidding me?
They have Miss Monmouth County.
No. No. I'm sorry. What? They're not sending their best in Monmouth.
That's a man. That could be a man.
That's Monmouth.
No.
That's a woolly Monmouth right there. That is no.
I was Miss Congeniality, so I had to be. I had to be nice.
Sweet. You couldn't roast anybody.
Yeah. Well, everyone was very. The thing is that and people like misinterpret this all the time. Pageant girls are actually very nice to each other, for the most part. For the most part. One time, like maybe once or twice. My big problem was that you would have these leftist judges. And of course, because they're part of show business, they would be handpicked.
Oh, yeah.
And
they're like, we got to vote for Monmouth because she looks like shit and she's diverse.
Every candidate had to have a platform or a social cause to promote. So like literally 5 women would promote mental health.
Ugh.
Mental health. And
mental health is like a to each his own. Like, you know what I mean? It's like cleaning out your fridge. It's like decluttering your closet. Like your mental health, that's on you. Don't expect like a bunch of, that's not everybody else's responsibility. Does that make sense?
Or Words Hurt, or LG Alphabet Soup, and you had some actual like good causes. I do believe autism awareness, or cancer. The most important causes, in my opinion, were you would have girls who would come up and they would honor veterans. That's something very important. Cancer, or not honoring cancer, combating cancer, cancer research. My platform was free speech. It was actually called free speech even when you hate to hear it. And the leftists in the pageant didn't like to hear that. So right after
they equate that with being a Nazi.
Exactly. And right after you interviewed me, it was maybe like 3 weeks later, it was the Miss New Jersey pageant for that year. And I got up on stage and they asked you to give your little spiel and answer a question. And it was, what was the greatest problem facing your generation today? And I said, well, entitlement and narcissism. And I would add like self-importance.
And TikTok.
People using victimhood as a currency. Furries, censorship. And I just remember one of the judges rolling his eyes at me.
Wow.
But I'm a very positive person. So at first, like I walked off stage and thought, they loved it. Because I thought he was going, wow, how amazing. And that's what I thought. Maybe it was the adrenaline and the hopeless.
Hold on, let's play. We have a clip from you actually when you were answering a question from this.
This was when I was.
This was from your
competing in South Carolina,
right before you won your Miss Congeniality award.
Yeah,
I love this clip. Oh, the volume.
Amy Teagarden.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. Or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries.
She forgot the Iran.
We will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much.
If I were her, I would just take off running to never be seen again after that.
Yeah.
So you would.
There's no coming back from that.
There's no.
People found her. They tried to catch up with her and like see where she's at now. I'm like, she shouldn't be taking interviews. She should start a new life, change her name.
I have that saved in a playlist because of you. Find it so fast.
I'll never get tired of watching that.
She dyed her. I do remember in a catch up, like 10 years later, she dyed her hair brown.
Oof.
Thinking that'll
help.
Yeah. I'm not a dumb blonde anymore.
I'm a dumb brunette. It doesn't work. Even if you dye your hair red, people still know you're dumb.
Once the blonde's always a blonde.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do we have super chats?
Yeah, let's pull up the Streamlabs at the top.
Chad Parsons for 2. The Monmouth look is from H.P. Lovecraft.
Usually the chat messages I get are like dye a hootie, which is Arabic for dye Jew.
Oh God. Well, hopefully there's none of that here. I don't think I have very many like Arabian fans.
Or you're a Sharmuta, which until now I thought that was pronounced Shamruta. It's like, who's calling me a Shamruta?
Oh, yeah, a ShamWow.
Yeah. Sharmuta. I've learned how to pronounce. So
that almost sounds pretty.
Doesn't that mean like a B word?
It means whore.
Oh.
Yeah. Like really friendly. You know, the typical Islamist love for
That's
women.
not very creative though.
I know, right? It's like, come on, get a new insult.
Push-ups. Oh, thank you, push-ups. Preppy feminine Tucker shouldn't talk. Tucker did a big. Are you calling Justine preppy feminine Tucker? I hope not. Tucker did a big interview about how Churchill, not Hitler, was the bad guy. He got how much from Qatar? I don't know.
Someone wants to volunteer themselves to save you from Whoopi.
Oh, good. Push-ups again. Reporter babes. Gonna have a busy day tomorrow. Oh, that's you. You're a reporter babe.
Oh,
I think.
But then who's the preppy feminine Tucker?
I don't
think
know.
you're a babe too.
Thank you. Who's preppy feminine Tucker? Push-ups don't speak in mystery. Super chats here. You only have so many lines.
Although he is very preppy, Tucker.
He is very preppy.
The sports coat.
Oh yeah, I feel like he's just jumped off a J. Crew catalog. So Deranged lunatic. Chrissy, please have Kevin back on soon. Do you mean Kevin, my friend that just died?
Oh.
Or do you mean...
No, Kevin from last show.
Oh, whoops. Wow. Sorry. I don't know why I made it so I had to go dark. Yeah. Oh. Yes, Kevin Downey Jr. was great. He I will definitely have it back on. Rhinoceros for 5. Can we edit that out? I will volunteer myself to save Chrissy from Whoopi. Offer is there. That would be great. Kalex became a member. Good for you. You made the right decision. Rhinoceros for 20. Wow. Oh, from 2 days ago. We're not going to read that. We've moved on.
I saw a Joan Rivers comment, but I feel like that was a day. That looked like it was like a day ago or another day
in the super chat.
Yeah,
might have. Sometimes it's tricky because they all blend together.
Joan is my spirit animal.
Joan is so great. Oh my gosh, I really wish she was still alive.
Me too.
Oh, Chrissy, she's in your soul.
There's just not enough old people, like old lady comics. It's Roseanne, and that's it.
Yeah.
Who else is a funny older woman?
Well, everyone else is woke.
Yeah. It's Kathy Griffin. Like cool people.
Yeah.
I really can't think of anybody. Chad, who do you know? Maybe that'll be me. Maybe that'll be my job.
Well, Lisa Lampanelli's pretty old now.
I think she's in her like 50s or 60s. Yeah. I'll accept old as like 70 and up.
Oh.
But 60's the new 50, 50's the new 40, etc.
Whoopi.
Big whoop.
She said you mentioned this before. She said it's worse to be black in America than just live in Iran.
Than anything else. Yeah.
Oh, poor. That's the thing. Like we're dealing with an Iranian threat right now. We're talking about nukes, and Whoopi will do everything to make anything about herself. Yeah, it could be like something completely, totally like irrelevant or something that's so.
She has to make it about her. She's the poorest millionaire ever.
She would go up at a funeral and she would say, "I'm sorry you're dead, but
I'm alive, and I have to be alive and black in America right now." So. Maybe we should switch places because that'd be easier for me.
Yeah.
Oh, push-ups for 2. I'm calling Tucker a preppy feminine fig.
Yeah. He reminds me of the boys I used to go to school with. I went to this prep school growing up. K through high school, and all the boys would wear like pink Vineyard Vines pants.
My college was like that too, always with the pink pants, blazer, but like a lot of like green pants too, like random orange colored, like a sherbet colored polo tops. It was a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of belts, a lot of boat shoes.
It's like, dude, you're 10 and you look like you're gonna go like smoke a cigar with like a little sail on a boat.
It's not a super masculine way to dress. It's just I get nervous when I see somebody who doesn't look like they're ready for stains, and it's just like, well, you're one like messy toddler away from that whole outfit being ruined. Like, I don't know, 30 minutes before you all got here, I was covered in food and poop and dirt, and that was just from me. So I'm kidding. It was the baby. We got him a water table and we're like, play with the water, Frankie. And he's just taking the water and like dumping it out into the dirt and then like rolling around on it. I'm like, he's like, so Abe would make mud. He's really into sticks right now, like just collecting every little stick from not the band.
I was gonna say
not the band, just like the actual sticks from the yard.
They're great. Have you ever tried it?
Sticks?
Yeah, just pick it up. Give it a look. Give it a gander.
But what am I going to do with it once I have it?
Whatever. Throw it. Break it.
I feel bad lying to him. I'm like, we'll come play with the sticks in a minute. We have to go inside and change your diaper. And then I never went back outside.
And he'll never forgive you.
How dare you?
Mom, my only memory from being a baby is I just wanted the sticks.
You didn't let me go back to the sticks.
It's mommy dearest, literally mommy dearest.
You wouldn't let me put dirt and leaves in my mouth. We were at the Bronx Zoo on Juneteenth because we were like, because we thought there's probably not going to be a lot of black people there. We're just like, and we were right. It was pretty chill. And we put the quarter in to get like the llama food, like the pellets, it's mostly hay. And we're like, Frankie, do you want to give a pellet to the goat? And he was like, and then he's like, and he's just this big, like disgusting. It almost looks like just a turd. He was like, and I'm like, why?
That's what my dog does.
I think about once a day, I am trying to pull something out of his mouth. Like, I don't know. But he hasn't choked yet on anything.
That's
knock on wood. Because I have a friggin' life vac in the car, in my bag, in every room of the house. Those commercials, they did a number on me. Because it was like, he's choking. And there's like a man who's like, I had a life vac in my car and I saved the day. And then the grape comes flying out. It's like, why? How about we just don't give grapes to kids till they're 30? Okay. Why is everyone in a big rush to give their kid a freaking cherry tomato?
Why are you leaving your toddler outside?
Yeah.
Outside with like small objects in the first place.
You have to just watch them like a hawk. But then even like I was reading something on Instagram, like this mom was like, I cut the grapes in half and he still choked. And I'm like, just get away from the grapes. Grapes are not, there are many other fruits out there that even taste like kiwis kind of taste like grapes. Pears kind of taste like grapes.
You're being pretty grapist right now.
Yeah.
I'm a grapist. I'm a grape supremacist.
All grapes matter.
Have you ever seen Whitest Kids You Know? Mm-hmm. There's this commercial called The Grapist. And it's basically it's supposed to be this kids commercial, and it's this man dressed up as a grape and he's chasing the kids around. He's like, I'm gonna grape you all. And
oh my god. Meaning like choke them or
like
I'm gonna jump down your throat and kill you.
It was supposed to be, it was like a spoof on this guy. I think it's just this great ad for this grape juice commercial.
Oh my god.
And the guy just can't understand why people are horrified when they're watching his video.
Aww.
It's like, oh, come on, get your mind out of the gutter. But then he shouts, I'm gonna grape you all in the mouth.
Speaking of graping, are you seeing anybody, Justine?
No, not at the moment.
Ooh, chat. Are you accepting boyfriend applications?
Sure. This is like what my mother asked me.
I am. I'm turning into your mom.
Yeah, I am single.
And ready to mingle?
And ready to mingle, to my mother's delight. My mom's just like, please find someone. Please give me grandkids.
Oh, you have time.
Do your best mom accent and ask her all the questions.
Oh, Justine, you gotta lower your standards. Actually, what would my mom say to me? She'd be like, it's just as easy to fall in love with a rich man as it is to fall in love with a broke one.
My mom says the same thing.
Wow.
They click.
Are they both from Long Island?
Mom's from Jersey City.
Okay, that's chemically the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom would she would sometimes, and she still does, like she'll like give my number to
people.
Yeah, or to her work friend. I know this really nice boy, this person I work with. He says it's really nice, and it should be a shitter.
A shitter?
A shitter. It's not to be confused.
I shit in my pants. I should have called you, but I didn't.
It means a shitter. It could
How do you
be
spell that.
I think it's
SHITT.
SHIDDUCH. It could be the latter, depending on the match. Maybe it could be a yeah. But yeah, if it goes well, it's a shitter. If it goes poorly, it's a shitter. So hopefully it's the first one. But yeah, she's still searching.
That's really cute though. Oh, who knows? Maybe there's something to parents doing arranged marriages. I don't know. Wow. I mean, it can't, I think of some of the, obviously not Frank, he's perfect, but I think about some of the horrible people I dated before him, and it's like, yeah, my parents would have picked a better person than 90% of the people I had dated. Oh, well, they're both dead now.
Gee.
My mom used to pressure me to have kids before I even had a good boyfriend. I'm like, Mom, your pressuring is off. You gotta wait till I'm with somebody good.
The grandkids.
And then
spoil.
Yeah, and then she got cancer and died.
Oh, sorry.
Chrissie, I think we got a super chat here.
Ooh.
For Justine here.
Ooh.
Shalom. Would you date a balding goy?
From push-ups.
He likes grease a lot.
He likes
grease off him.
Yes, yeah.
Are you a lawyer?
He loves hummus.
Yeah.
I love hummus. Are you a lawyer?
No, he's a former reporter, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't he work for
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. He's only told me 100 times. Frank's mom reads them all the time. Does it start with a B? No. Breitbart.
Yeah.
Oh.
He used to work for Breitbart.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Breitbart.
he's very cool.
He's a nice young man.
He's very nice. He's an eligible bachelor.
He's got a portfolio.
He's Jewish. Or at least he looks Jewish.
He's not Jewish.
He looks Jewish.
We'll have to
He looks Jewish.
He does. He's very Jew-passable.
He's Jew-passing.
No one will know when you come out.
He could use the Jew bathroom and no one would know.
We'll convert you. The funny thing is my dad actually was raised Catholic because I'm Jewish through my mom. My dad was raised Irish Catholic. So being raised Irish Jewish, I was told I could either grow up to be a shrewd poet or a pushy drunk. So
why choose though?
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, that's
You're a drunk that saves money. You go to the bars that have half off then.
Or Dwight
There you
Schrute.
I negotiate.
Wow.
I was on a date with someone one time, and it was such a it was actually at a galley or a gala, and he goes up to the bar at this open bar, and he goes, the first thing he goes, "Are the drinks free?" And then then I did someone else, and also Jewish. When I took him to a clothing store, and he looks at the bowl of candies, and he goes to the cashier, "Are the candies free?" I'm like, oh no! Like, come on, we're trying to help ourselves here.
Yeah, don't be a stereotype.
It can make us look good.
Could you stop doing this all the time? Stop looking like you're plotting. Can you stop rubbing your hands together?
I'm guilty of it. I do this sometimes, but that's just because I'm.
You're not doing this though, like the cartoon. The Jewish guy was always like,
"We're gonna make a shidduch." But I do this because I'm cold. I'm cold.
Oh, right. You're a chick. Girls, women are cold all the time.
Because you don't wear clothes.
Yeah, clothes are.
So does your boyfriend have to be Jewish?
I would like to marry someone Jewish because I would like to keep the faith and the tradition in, and nothing's more important than making my mother happy.
That's true.
Of course, she's probably watching, so if I say no, I'll go home and. Why did you say that? Why did you say that? Yeah.
Oh, where's Waffles? Oh, Waffles is away this weekend. Not like she ever comes down when I call her. Waffles is one of the dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do like men who have who like dogs and puppies, and I'm a dog person.
I love dogs too.
This is kind of explaining just kind of any Jewish man then.
Must be Jewish. Must like dogs.
Yeah.
We must give the dog a bark mitzvah.
A bark mitzvah or puppuccino.
I don't know. I think a dog can only have one of those. So.
Oh. Let's see. What else? Do you have
Does he have to be handy?
Or handsome?
I like hair. I like the whoosh.
It has to have a whooshing hair.
Love the whoosh.
What if he's tall?
Like a Tucker hair.
Chrissie, what if he's tall and has glasses, slightly long hair?
What if it's our intern?
Who's that?
Yeah, how do you feel about a Gen Z? Well, you're Gen Z too, so.
I am Gen Z. I used to grow up thinking I was a millennial. I'm 26. So like I'm like maybe 2 years. I'm like near the cutoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's Gen Z.
I don't mind glasses.
Okay, could do glasses.
I like the cute nerdy look. I like someone who can make me a lot of money.
Ooh, okay. So
I repair ceiling fans.
I would say I'm just an intern. I'm not there yet.
tall, not with that attitude. So Andrew Tate is your type. That's someone who can help pimp you out. Oh,
And you have to have
never mind.
hair.
Oh, right.
And not
Yeah,
allegedly sex trafficked.
He's a
women.
sex trafficker, and he's gross looking.
Yeah. So he looks like
He's got a weird face and head. He's got a small head.
Reminds me of like if Squidward and Mrs. Pop had a baby from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah.
The shape.
No, he's too intense and angry. He's just got his bad vibes. Yeah. Even if he wasn't a sex trafficker, it's just like ugh, bad vibes.
I hate angry people. When people,
it's exhausting to be around.
Yeah. Like people who yell a lot for no reason. It's
and not just like Italians that are like they're expressive and fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh boy. I'm not yelling. He used to take all of the toiletries from like every hotel he ever stayed at, but he hoarded them, which is something I used to do. But I threw them away because Frank made fun of me. I used to hoard furniture in my old apartment in Queens. Like if someone put something on the curb, I'd be like, yoink.
Yoink.
Let's stick that in the room. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so we will this year you're gonna meet, well, it's half over. But I think you could meet somebody good in the second half of the year.
Who knows? Fingers crossed.
Okay.
It's a matter of
are you into DMs? Like someone hitting up your DMs, sliding in there?
I guess it depends, because usually most of my DMs are like self-proclaimed like Pakistani princes
and death threats.
Yeah. Usually like my suitors and my requests are dye a hoodie and also send Bob and Vagine. Usually
not like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah, or it's hello, I'm here. Please send me money. I want to make you wife.
Please show Bob's and Vagine. You look like Margarita.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are typically the requests I get. So I'm a little bit horrified or traumatized from the DMs. But I mean, I guess that's
true.
That's what people do now. That's
The bar
what you
sounds very
do.
low.
People have hit me up on LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
And
Like-
the app
that's
is a dating app. If you're,
Yeah, PayPal. You could start a conversation there. Be like, hey, I really like the way you seem to be paying all these people back. Like, they, borrow money and you're right on top of it.
I really like how much money you look like you have based on your PayPal. based on your Venmo history.
But you can't see the amount, can you? You just see that like you did pay someone.
It depends on if you're friends with someone on Venmo, like I'll get notifications. I don't know why, but like people from high school who I haven't seen in like almost 10 years, like they just paid someone for a good time at like.
It's the most useless thing. Like, why do I need to see? And you'll get in like a weird like rabbit hole. I'll just be like, oh, like look at. Sometimes you can figure out who books comedy shows through Venmo because you can see like who's paying, and they'll do like a laugh emoji. They'll write like the show or something, and be like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a sad way to look for gigs.
Yeah, really.
Not that I've done that.
Guilty.
Oh, Zato. And my shoes fell off. I'll sue everyone. Goddamn. I don't know what.
My shoes.
That was
I don't understand that.
He was saying no to balding men.
Oh.
Bishop says not converting to Judaism. Love Jesus and bacon.
I'll have to say I do like bacon. I shouldn't say that. Guilty.
Are you allowed to have bacon?
No, but I'm a bad rule follower. I was raised Reform, which is unfortunately where like all the leftists come out of, because they try to make their religion like say it's okay. And I know that I'm bad for eating bacon. Like I feel guilty, which should count for something.
Can you have turkey bacon?
I tried turkey bacon once. It's not the same. I'm trying to be a better Jew. Like I'm trying to cut bacon.
Can you be a better Jew without cutting out bacon? No. What do the Jews have against bacon?
It's unclean.
It's unclean.
But it's so good.
I know.
Is anything we eat really clean?
Did you do you're Jewish at home but not outside kind of thing?
Yeah, Jewish in the streets but not Jewish in the sheets.
It's where you eat kosher at home but outside you can.
Oh, okay. So Jewish in the sheets, not in the streets.
I do Jewish kosher in front of my rabbi. My sister's bat mitzvah. I don't know why this is even a thing, but there's something called kosher style, which is basically, it's like, okay, we're gonna kind of like look like we're kosher, but wink wink, we're like not really. We kind of like snuck.
It's like Gangnam Style, but Jewish.
Yeah, like okay, like we kind of snuck the bacon inside like this little scallop hors d'oeuvre, and this what happened at the cocktail party for my sister's bat mitzvah. My grandma, who was raised Orthodox, she like walks up to my mom horrified. There's bacon in this, and my mom goes, oh, okay.
Just eat it, shut up.
She goes, what should I do? Should I eat it? And my mom goes, whatever. I think I'll eat it. And that was like the riskiest thing she's ever done in her life. I think I'm going to eat it.
And now it's a slippery slope. Now she's going to be a Bonnie Blue.
Yeah. Well, sadly, she passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. But
from too much bacon.
Too much bacon.
Too much sodium.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it.
God cursed her for eating that bacon.
What about other types of meat?
We can eat turkey or chicken. Anything like pig related.
Nothing at all from the pig.
No, not pork, but there's like substitutes.
Wow.
I won't eat like pork in pork format because I just think it looks gross.
Pork format.
For some reason that looks more offensive. So I'm like, okay, here's the compromise. If it's like bacon format, I'm sorry, but pork, it's a shredded pork or if it's ham, I won't eat it when it's all the same thing. It's like all the same thing. But for some reason, I don't know why there's this like mentality in my head that makes me believe it's more offensive to eat it when it looks one way versus when it looks and tastes another. That's just me trying to cope with being
because bacon seems so far removed and processed away from like a pig. It's crispy, it's hard.
Yeah, we burnt it enough. It's like
in strips.
How much of the pig is really still there?
The pig didn't know it was happening.
Yeah.
Isn't it the pig's butt? Isn't that what bacon is?
Really?
Oh God, we're eating pig's butt.
Should I Google that?
Let's Google it.
Give it a Google.
Give it a Google.
Meats and cheeses.
You can't eat meat and cheese in like the same day, or if you're keeping a kosher home, if you have a week or a day full of you're eating meat, you can't have any dairy product in your kitchen, and then you have to clean out your entire kitchen if you want to have dairy. Another thing where like I can't help it.
Nobody's doing that though, really. Are they really cleaning their whole kitchen?
If you're Orthodox, or if you're like much more observant, if you're one of the if you're Hasidic and you live in Brooklyn, it's just like the different sects of
they have different sets of like dinnerware too.
Yeah. I just started delving in Orthodox. I could never become like full-blown Orthodox, but I have to appreciate them. And it's how Christians would appreciate someone who's 100% observant, because when you're putting God first, that means something. And especially now, it's very hard. It's very hard to not act secular, even if you believe in God. You have technology. It's a modern world, and and everyone's telling you that religion is evil. It's so nasty how you're branded a kook for wanting to kind of believe in, to have faith in the first place. Meanwhile, the Islamists, they can, chop off women's parts and FGM all they want, and they can throw acid at women and force women to. But the same people who are all progressive about, well, we're atheists, we don't believe in religion, except like Islamism is totally fine. But that being said, I could never become like fully orthodox, although I try to like pick a couple of things
because your hair is too nice, really. So like cover that with a wig. Come on, really.
This took a lot of product. Like this, I have the Jewish fro, so it takes a lot of you got to get your hair blown out. But it's just to see. I could never cover my hair. I could never. But you pick a couple of things. Shabbat, you try to observe Shabbat. You don't use technology. I could try not to use my phone for 24 hours. Like that's a start, at least. But that's hard. Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah are like the major days. Yom Kippur is where you atone for your sins and you have to fast. That's hard. You can't even drink water. See,
that's tough.
I drink water. I'll take medication if I have medication that I need to take, but I won't eat. But you know what? I do that. I starve myself anyway. So I'm a pageant girl. So easy peasy.
There we go. It's not starvation. It's fasting.
There you go. Yeah.
Everyone's doing it.
I just do like a pre-pageant Yom Kippur, and it's better than barfigs.
I do respect people who want to be closer to God, but what I have a problem with is when you're so insular and you don't want to like associate or even give eye contact to anybody who's different than you. You don't want to you only want to do business with people that are exactly like you. I find that to be like kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, it's tribalistic. It's why my mom, she put us in Reform shul or Reform synagogue growing up. But you can never win with anything anymore because she was raised in a conservative synagogue religiously. She put us in a Reform synagogue, but they were so woke. So and I feel like this problem, Christians and Jews both have this problem where you don't want to be tampered down. You want to be you don't want to be so insular, as you said. But then you go to a Reform synagogue or Reform church, and the religion has become leftism. Like there's no Reform synagogue out there or synagogue that's more modernist, that's not woke. And sadly, I'm seeing that with you'll have the Episcopal churches. The left has really ruined any idea that we can have a reform movement, or we can still be Jewish, we can still be Christian, and we don't have to be completely shut in. We can show our hair, we can enjoy life still, but we can still hold God as the authority. That idea has sadly, it seems like it's been destroyed by the left. Yeah. Because we let the left take advantage of our religious institutions.
And now they made them gay.
Yeah.
They went into the city and now they're gay. That's from John Roberts. That's a John Roberts quote. Oh my gosh. Can we pull up? This is so irrelevant to the conversation, but it's called, it's a John Roberts video. I think he's called My Son is Gay. My Son is Gay. You never heard this? He's so funny. He does the voice for the mom on Bob's Burgers.
Oh.
It sounds like a founding father.
He is known, his first viral video is called The Tree. Goodbye, tree, where he's talking about the Christmas tree. That was a good tree. Oh, yeah. Can you do me a favor? Get the hell away from the tree. And then this, this is my favorite. My favorite line is he moved into the city and now he's gay. Sorry, it's so irrelevant.
I don't know why you never explain it to as that way, from that story. It's very John Roberts. I'm I don't know.
How do you not know John Roberts? My son's gay?
My son is gay?
My son's gay.
He's gay.
is gay. My son is gay. My son is gay. My son is gay.
Gay.
God. Gay. Gay? Gay? Gay. He moved into the city and now he's gay. Gay. Why? Oh, my son is gay. Gay. My son is gay. Told me he's gay. You're gay, you're gay. He's here. He's gay. Get used to it. My son is gay. Hey, my son's gay. Watch it. Who's hungry? You hungry?
Oh my God. Ugh.
Oh God.
Put that on the playlist of
Sounds
things.
like my
I'll make
voice.
you keep replaying.
It's on there. I just never know John.
He's here. He's gay.
Get used to it.
Get used to it.
It's like every mother I grew up with.
18 years, yes.
The red, big
it's
red.
me now.
My son is gay. He picked up a stick.
Oh, he's gay. He rubbed two sticks together. Put that down. Oh my God. Justine, what is coming up for you? Where can people find you and follow you and all that good stuff?
Certainly. I'm on X, Justine_Brooke, Brooke. And I host the Media Research Center, where on YouTube.
Not a gang. Yeah.
We're not an Irish gang. Although a lot of us are Irish and loud. We're MRCTV on YouTube, Rumble, also X. We're at the MRC, also on X. That's our main page, where you'll find our other pages. We have so many pages. We've got Newsbusters. We just led the charge in trying to defund PBS and NPR.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. So I, as a theater kid, I did my recent episode by showing, you guys probably saw the smut puppet show. Sesame Street did this like little thing where for Pride Month they had this man in a dress show up, and he goes, "Elmo, Cookie, would you like to see my monster piece?"
Oh no!
Yeah, wink, wink. You know, if back in the day we were taught like if someone wanted to show you their monster piece, you know, get into the white van, you kind of want to run and call the police, but
don't take the free candy.
I bought a puppet, a blonde puppet, like just for this. I called her Sheila, and she's like my little guest in the episode. So I go, "You people are pervs and really need to you people need to seek help, or people need to be locked up." But it was, I try to be creative. I try my best, but at one point we showed a clip of Elmo saying, and this was from 2020, we re-upped it thanks to Libs of TikTok. Elmo was talking about the important BLM, mostly peaceful demonstrations. Yeah.
Wow. It's a pro-gay episode of Sesame Street featuring prominent zesty crossdresser Jonathan Van Ness, who offered to show Elmo and Cookie Monster his monster piece. Yuck! I can't believe this is real. Oh, that's so disgusting.
People and monsters alike, a round of applause for the Not Too Late Show's newest monster, Alan. Ta-da!
These kids are like saying, "Help, help!"
The latest in high monster fashion with a set of sleek horns, fluffy, fuzzy fur, all topped off with a
Mommy, make it stop!
Annie,
Yeah.
just like
Okay.
Jonathan Van Ness.
Add him to the wood chipper list.
Yeah, like P is for pervert.
Yeah. This just doesn't need to be a thing.
And the funny thing is, even though everyone knows this except for PBS seems to, they just keep hanging on the same point. Like, oh, well, you're going to kill Big Bird if you defund PBS, even though Sesame Street has been other people's problem for 10 years. Now they're going to be Netflix's problem.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they can't decide whether to like tee it up or whether to just like talk about, well, we have other children's content, and then their other children's content are other men in dresses who are singing songs like the hips on the drag queen go swish swish.
Oh yeah, I've heard that song.
Yeah, like, oh, you must fund this important children's propaganda. Please pay for us to groom your kids continuously. So a couple of months ago, I actually went out to this protest, and it's always this geriatric crowd of like elderly, outgrown people who thought they were hippies, who still think they're fighting the Vietnam War.
Yeah, there's a lot of them still kicking around.
It's like they've been in a bunker for years, and they rolled out Big Bird and Elmo and the Count, and I rolled out the Media Research Center. We compiled the stack of our own coverage of 15 years of both bias from PBS and PR, and we call it the left-leaning tower of media bias. So we roll it out, and I like roll it up to the Count. I chase down the puppets, and of course they don't talk to me. They're probably like illegal aliens in the costume, like looking for they're just like hiding in there, and they were paid to show up. But I asked the Count, can you count how many instances of left-wing media bias PBS has propagated? And of course he just kind of like nervously, like shuffles away. They all they all run into this like garage, and then like the garage door immediately shuts down. And then I get mobbed by these angry old ladies, and they're sticking their finger in my face or like grabbing my arm. How dare you fascist? And then one lady goes like, you're a funny little influencer, aren't you? You're a funny little...
What a sick burn. I don't know how I'll recover from that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I was some elf. But, and then you guys might have seen, there's this viral Muppet, and he's this really raunchy, dirty puppet.
Don't call Milo Yiannopoulos that.
Well, I don't know, between flushing his own doo-doo down the toilet and filming it, it seems like we're getting there with him.
Aww.
I was eating, by the way, when that popped up in my feed. This was like a couple years ago.
I never saw it until you just told me about it.
It was when Telegram was still kind of popular. Well, people are trying to like make Telegram
a thing again.
And it was when Twitter was still run by censors and Instagram. So like people are just kind of looking for different outlets. But with
more Getter and gosh, what was the other one? What was on the one that
Parler.
Wow. Those are the days.
I was cool on Parler.
Really?
I
was somebody.
I was somebody. Too bad nobody was on the platform at the time.
It was a flash in the pan. Well, everyone follow Justine on Parler right now.
Yes. Just have to remember my username.
And follow her on Twitter. Do you do Instagram?
I do Instagram. It's my full name, Justine Brooke Murray. And you can also follow the Media Research Center on Instagram too. We always cross post, and that's where you'll see more of the puppet show.
And you can submit your boyfriend applications through there as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justine, so much for coming on. An absolute delight, as always.
Thank you.
This was so fun. And thank you to the chat for your comments and questions. You guys are the best, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
See you next time. Thank you.